Alright, let's talk about structural drawings. These aren't just any old papers. They are the true backbone of any construction project you're on. Think of them as the detailed instruction manual. They show you exactly how the building needs to be put together. This is so it can stand strong and safe for years to come. Structural engineers, real smart folks, create these plans. They figure out all the loads and stresses. Then they design the skeleton of the building. Why are these drawings so incredibly important for you, the site engineer? Well, safety is always our #1 concern on any job site. These drawings are your primary guide to ensuring that safety. They detail the size of beams, the type of columns, and how they all connect. If you follow them, you're building a structure that can handle the weight it's designed for. Ignore them or misread them, and you're asking for trouble. Big trouble. So what kind of information will you find packed into these drawings? You'll see details about the foundation, which is crucial. It's what the whole building rests on. You'll find information on steel reinforcement in concrete, the type and spacing of rebar, for example. If it's a timber frame, you'll see wood grades and connection types. Every critical element that holds the building up is there. It's all laid out for you to follow precisely. The main purpose of structural drawings is to communicate the engineer's design, clearly and without guesswork. They are there to guide your work on site every single day. Your job is to translate those lines and symbols into a real physical structure. Understanding them well means you can prevent costly mistakes. It means you can avoid delays. And most importantly, it means you build it right the first time, ensuring a solid, dependable building. Now let's break down what you'll typically find in a set of structural drawings. First up are the plan views, often called general arrangement or GA drawings. These give you a bird's eye view of the structure. Imagine you're looking down from above with the roof taken off. You'll see foundation plans showing footings and slabs. You'll see floor framing plans showing beams and joists. They tell you where all the main structural elements go horizontally. Next, we have section views. These are super important for understanding the vertical aspects. Think of taking a slice right through the building like cutting a cake. A section drawing shows you what's inside that slice. You'll see how different floors connect to walls. You can see the height of beams, the thickness of slabs, and material layers. They help you visualize the internal makeup of the structure. These views are key for understanding how elements stack up and interact. Then there are the elevation views. These show you what the building looks like from the outside. You'll typically get elevations for the front, rear, and both sides of the structure. From a structural standpoint, elevations show things like the height of walls. They can indicate where structural openings for large windows or doors are located. They also show the finish levels of different parts of the building. They help you see the overall form and scale of the structural shell. Finally, and these are critical, are the detail drawings. These are zoomed-in views of specific connections or complex areas. Think about a tricky steel beam-to-column connection, or the exact placement of reinforcing bars in a concrete joint. These details show you precisely how these crucial parts fit together. They often have lots of dimensions and notes. You need to pay very close attention to these. Getting these details right is absolutely essential for the building's strength. Structural drawings have their own language. It's made up of lines, symbols, and abbreviations. The first thing you should always look for is the legend or key. This is usually on one of the first few sheets. The legend is your dictionary. It tells you what different line types mean. It explains the symbols used for various materials like concrete, steel, or wood. It decodes abbreviations. Always check the legend before you dive deep into the drawings. Then there are the notes. You'll find general notes and specific notes. General notes usually apply to the entire project or a whole series of drawings. They might cover things like concrete strength, steel grade, or welding standards. Specific notes, sometimes called keyed notes, are tied to a particular item or area on the drawing. They often have a leader line pointing to what they describe. You absolutely must read every single note. They provide crucial information. Understanding scale is also key. Drawings are obviously much smaller than the real building. The scale tells you the ratio between the drawing size and the actual size. You might see scales like 1:50, 1 to 100 or 1/4 inch equals 1 foot 0 inches. This means one unit on the drawing represents 50 units in reality, or 100 units, and so on. You'll need a good quality scale rule to measure distances accurately from the drawings. Always double-check the scale noted on each specific drawing or detail. And of course, we have dimensions. These are the numbers shown on the drawing that tell you the exact sizes and locations of structural elements. Dimension lines will show the length, width, and height of beams, columns, and slabs. They will also show spacing between elements. Always pay close attention to the units used: millimeters, centimeters, or feet and inches. Consistency in checking and applying these dimensions is vital for accurate construction. Don't just eyeball it, measure carefully. Alright, so you've got your drawings. Now it's time to use them out on the actual construction site. Always carry the latest revision of the drawings with you. When you get to a specific area, orient your drawing. Look for the north arrow on the plan and match it to the site conditions. Then start comparing what's on paper to what's in front of you, or what you're about to build. This initial check helps you get your bearings. One of your big jobs is spotting potential mistakes or discrepancies. Carefully check the dimensions shown on the drawing against the actual measurements on site. Are the column center lines correct? Is the rebar spacing as specified? Look for clashes between structural elements and, say, plumbing or electrical services if you have those drawings too. If something doesn't look right or doesn't make sense, stop. Don't just build it. It's time to ask questions and get clarification. Cross-checking information is a lifesaver. Structural drawings don't exist in a vacuum. You'll also have architectural drawings and maybe mechanical, electrical, and plumbing drawings. It's really important to compare these different sets of plans. For example, does a beam on the structural plan clash with a pipe route on the MEP plan? Does a wall shown on architectural plans have the proper structural support? Catching these issues early saves a lot of headaches and money. So my advice for new site engineers is this: be thorough and be patient. Take your time to really understand the drawings before work starts. Don't ever assume anything. If you're unsure about a symbol, a note, or a detail, ask a senior engineer or your supervisor. It's always better to ask a question than to make a mistake. Remember, these drawings are your guide to building safely and correctly. Master them, and you'll build with confidence, knowing you're doing it right.